Okay, I know you might not believe me, but this is real. A few days ago, I was just sitting on my living room couch, just masturbating, watching TV, and eating popcorn. It was 3:30 in the morning, and I was going through some insomnia at the time. But all of a sudden, the show Back at the Barnyard was announced on Nick at night. I was about confused because it was one of the early in the morning, and it was one, it was early in the morning, and two, the show wasn't even supposed to air until 10 o'clock a.m. Well, even though I decided to watch it, but the opening theme song went by normally. But the only weird thing was that Freddy, the little orange piece of shit, was not in the song or any of the scenes, which kind of weirded me out. But I thought it was a bit of a mix-up, so I continued watching. When the title card came up, it wasn't the old, funny, weird-looking title that showed, but a gloomy, depressing scheme with a picture of Freddy crying and the rest of the animals with the horrific look in their faces, and with the words on the card saying, Freddy's Depression. Soon the episode starts and with Freddy in his little compartment just sitting there. None of the animals had shown up, and there was no music at all. Just Freddy sitting there alone. Then that's when things got a little weird. About 10 seconds after the skiing music starts to play and wasn't the old fun or happy. It was just depressing after a few moments. In listening to the song, I knew that it was a song from Evidence called My Immortal, and then the song played. Freddy started crying, and not like the crying you normally see in cartoons, no, but somewhat a realistic crying. Then the skiing cuts to black. My jaw dropped, and I wondered, what the fuck is this? Then after the blank screen faded, it cuts to a new skiing. Except this time, it's just Freddy sitting at a desk with a pencil and a paper in his hands. And he starts to write. And while he writes, he starts crying bitterly. And I started to get a little upset. Then after he was done, he got up and left the desk. And the camera zooms on and what it said. And it shocked the hell out of me. This is what it said. Dear friends, I'm sorry to what I'm about to do, but I'm going to shove a pencil up my ass. My life has been a set stool of hell, and I just want you to know, because all you caused this, Beck, my so-called best friend, you never cared or comforted me when I needed you most. But my reason on what I'm about to do, you pip, you stupid son of a bitch, you just sit there and call me stupid. But in some cases, you did comfort me. But that's not what you excuse me for about to do, Bessie, you little bitch. I hate you so much. You just sit there and insult me for 24/7 and never take any consideration to my feelings. And you are the first in what I'm about to do. And the rest of you, just be prepared. I hate you all, Freddy. I was shocked and scared at the same time. What did he mean, get ready for what I'm about to do? I was so tempted to turn off my TV, but I had to watch the rest. After about 5 minutes of this, cuts to Freddy still crying and holding a knife. But soon starts to get scary. He soon stops crying and looks at my face and with locked in hordes in his tears and became tears of blood, and his teeth looked like Rabbit's dog would be like, and his eyes, oh god, his eyes would soon became fully black like he was possessed by a demon. Extra cliche points there. Then we hear Otis and the rest of the Gangy get home, but they see Freddy there. His face is turned to pure horror-stricken fear. Freddy just smiles and says in a demonic ghost tone, "Let's get ready." The screen cuts to black for about 4 seconds. Then the final screen finally arrives, but the scene is horrible. If you have ever been in a slaughterhouse, you haven't been You haven't seen nothing yet. It shows all the animals all horribly mutilated and bloody. Otis's was horrible. His stomach was cut open and all of his entrails were cut up and pulled 5 feet away from his body. Blood draining from his stomach into the middle of the floor. Then points the pig. His body was hanged upside down, nailed to a cross, an inverted cross, and his face was apparently peeled off from his body. And also his stomach was cut open and entrails a few feet away from his head, and on his head was a carved upside down pentagram with the word pig in the middle of it. Then the camera was pointed into a pot of boiling blood, and when the camera looked into the pot, there was nothing but blood and little bits of organs, and the boiling head floated. I started to scream and I weep. I was so freaked out on what happened. Sleep was out of the question. It finally zoomed in Bessie. Luckily, she wasn't as bloody or as horribly as mangled as the others, but the words zoomed in closer and showed the word bitch written, carved into his stomach, and looks like her death was just suffocation. How can you even tell you died from suffocation? What the fuck? Thank goodness, but it confused me that it gave her a more humane death than others. After a few seconds, you could hear the faint crying in the background. It was Freddy. He was sitting in his stall, covered in blood and bits of feathers. He apparently ate Peck, but he made sure Peck never got out of his stomach. What the hell? Vor material people. Vor material people. Vor. As I saw eyes not capitalized. As I saw Freddy, apparently he was crying, but he was not tears. Oh, no. It was blood, and next to him was a dead priest with his robe on, but covered in blood. Freddy was crying his eyes out, and you could hear him faintly saying, "I hate you, Satan, you dirty bastard." After a few minutes of the sounds of a police car and came and arrested the bloody animals, then the scene cuts to the credits. My face was shocked, and my eyes kept on widening. What had happened was the worst thing ever, and since I skinks, then I had to find the video and more info, but Google search has showed no results. I warn you, if you happen to see this an episode titled "Back the Barnyard," lost episode of Freddy's Depression, do not watch it or else you will suffer the consequences. What the hell did I just read?